Joining us now to talk about the huge amount of money which changes hands on a weekend like the Durban July weekend is Vee Moodley, who is Executive Director at Sports Betting, that's at Phumelela Gaming and Leisure. So Vee, we've had, as I said, on Friday we said, is the Durban July about racing or is it about fashion? Yesterday we talked about different aspects with Clyde Basil, and at the end of our little discussion it sounded like he was going to become a commentator again. But let's now get down to the hard numbers here. A weekend like this, what does it mean for you?
Well, Dave, for me, it's the biggest horse racing event in Africa. From a turnover perspective, there's no other horse racing event that we have in SA that matches the Vodacom Durban July.
No, bigger than the Met in Cape Town?
Much bigger. We race 364 of the 365 days, and the Vodacom Durban July, in perspective, out of 100, the next best event is 60.
Wow.
In those terms.
All right, so give me some actual numbers in terms of rand. So a normal race meeting at Greyville or Turfentine, is a certain average. Yes. How much more is the July? In terms of revenue?
Revenue, it's at least 10 times more. Just to put it in perspective, Dave, the Vodacom Durban July turnover on that day for 2013, we did a figure of 113 million turnover. On Saturday past, we had a hugest day, our biggest day, we did 127 million.
So this is what the punters are putting on. That's that number?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How does that break down then? Some of it goes back to them, some of it is profit?
Yes, it's about 76% is returned back to the punter, and the 24% is the takeout rate where you get your taxes, your VAT, and your administration
so just give me those numbers again. 113 million was the 2013
figure.
Yep.
2014, on Saturday, we did 127 million. There's about 11.5% growth. And in these times, Dave, that's quite exciting for us.
Also, there's been talk that with all the other forms of gambling, horse racing used to be the only form of gambling available. Then you had the so-called homeland casinos. Now we've still got those, and you can gamble in all sorts of places. So there was talk that racing might die, but clearly it's growing again.
Racing won't die, Dave. I think yes, there's many forms of gambling. There's plenty pressure on the gambling rand, but if you look at each form of gambling, horse racing, there's a skill element to it. There is an excitement, and there's a sport element to it.
Tell me if I'm right here. Maybe I'm talking to your book. Is that I think you get better odds on the horses than you do on other forms of gambling.
Much better. Much better. The average markup is about 20% or 18 to 20%. And there's also excitement, and there's a thrill, and the sporting element of horse racing will not die. So for me, horse racing is here to stay. I must mention, Dave, from a betting perspective, obviously the betting engine which I am in charge of, what I realized with other forms of gambling, there is a dream element. So if you play in the casino or in any other forms, there is an option for you to win a dream bet.
This is going to change my life.
Yes. Now, what I've done in the last year, I changed one of our leading bet types. It's called the pick six, where you have to pick 6 winners on the day. Now, I've revived that bet and made it slightly more difficult, but now the take-up has been huge. So what I've done for Saturday, we had a record pick six pool. On Saturday, our pick six pool reached a net of 13.7 million.
So presumably that's the winners of the last 6 races on the day?
From race 4 to race 9.
Race 4 to race 9. The jackpot was the classic one. That was the 4.
Yes.
The 4 winners.
Right.
But when you say revived the pick six, I mean, it was around. Did it fall away? What happened?
Yes, what happened, Dave? Good point. The pick six used to have a bet where if you had the same trainer, and if you had 4 horses in a race, if you put one horse, you qualified for the 4 horses.
They all counted.
All counted.
Called coupled.
Coupling. Yes, well done. So you know your skills and of horse racing and the rules. Now we dropped away the couplings rule. So if you had to find, you had to find the correct horse. So every runner becomes a live play.
So it's the same principle, but it's harder to win.
Yes, you have to extend your percentage, and your payouts have increased.
Now, what about all the others? Because even before computers could help you, racing had swingers, they had doubles, they had trifectas, there were all kinds of combinations that you could get.
Yes.
The first 3 horses, but not necessarily the order in which they ran, and that kind of thing. Now, with computers, you can do anything you like with this.
Yes, you can, but just to get back to the point, you have this traditional win bet, your horse must win, the place bet your first 4. In the case of the Vodacom Durban July, we pay a bonus. If your horse runs in the first 5, you get a place dividend.
Okay.
But the most exciting bet, besides the pick six, which is the dream bet, the quartet bet, where you have to pick the first 4, that quartet pool for the Vodacom Durban July reached a figure of just under 11 million rand.
You mean the first 4 in the race?
In the race.
Is the quartet?
Quartet, yeah. But you can take it either straight line or what you just mentioned, boxed.
And of course, you don't have to do market research because the punters will tell you what kind of bets they like.
100%. A punter chooses, he's got a choice of a win, place, swinger, trifecta, quartet, whatever he wants. But the whole drive today is chasing a dream.
Now, I know this isn't you, but the bookmakers are outside of what you do. Do you still have bookmakers on the courses? I know that we were one of the last countries in the world to have on-course bookmakers.
Dave, we, Phumelela Gaming Leisure, also own the biggest...
You also do?
Yes,
Okay.
we own one of the biggest bookmaking chains. I believe there is a place for the bookmaker in the industry.
And they still have them on the course?
Yes, we have them on the course.
Because you used to see dozens of them, but now, what, half a dozen?
Yeah, it's changed now. It's gone away from that environment. It's more... in your
I'll tell you the
areas.
nice thing about the bookmaker is if you get a price a week ahead, 16 to 1, that's the price you will get on the day, whereas if you take it on the tote, the price changes as race day comes closer.
Clear, yes. Bookmaker, it's fixed odds, it's you against the bookmaker, he gives your odd and that's the price you get. With the tote, as you explained, it fluctuates. The only time you know your final dividend is when the race jumps. But coming on Vodacom Durban July Day, the tote's very competitive because your pools are massive. And if you look at the winner of the Vodacom Durban July Legislate, he was priced up by the bookmakers around 4 and 5 to 1. So if you took a bet on Legislate, you would have got for 100 Rand, maybe you got 500 to 100, but the tote paid just under 8 Rand. So it works two ways.
Correct.
Yes, it works two ways.